Today is everybody's favorite, taking down popcorn ceilings. So I have my airless sprayer, 5-gallon bucket of hot water with a couple drops of dish soap in it, and one popcorn ceiling. So I want to soak that down until it starts to discolor, and I can let it sit for a while, come back, hit it again, whatever it takes. Depends on how much paint you have on there, but I'm gonna just get it good and wet, and then I'm gonna come back with a joint knife and take it off. Some of these smoke detectors, when you get them new, they come with this little shower hat, but I'm gonna go ahead and take that one off. And I can leave that covered up so it doesn't get wrecked. But the moisture in the air in the room will set off the smoke detectors. So just to let you know. All right, so we got a good bit of humidity in the air here. Keep that from drying out. And I went over it thrice as if I was painting it, basically the same amount as if I was putting 3 coats of paint on there. And you can see where the paper's starting to show through. And that's what you want to see. This stuff down here that's really thick and gobbed up, it might take another couple shots. They like to cheat back in the day and just squirt a whole bunch of popcorn over the seams. So they really load it up where they're trying to cover stuff up sometimes instead of just doing an even coat. But lazy people, so here we are. So some people have said that all lives matter, and I can disprove that simply by starting to work on a popcorn ceiling. If you start working on a popcorn ceiling, everybody in your life will disappear and you will be alone, and they probably won't return until the ceiling is finished. So if you want to become part of the MLDM movement, the My Life Doesn't Matter movement, then you can start by scraping popcorn off ceilings. And basically what I'm doing is just hitting it with the joint knife, catching the stuff in the pan, and right now I'm just trying to get the main bumps off of there, because this stuff is stuck so hard to the paper and it wasn't painted before it was shot up there. I'm going to have to sand the rest of it off. So I didn't want to have to sand everything because it makes a lot of dust. So welcome. Your life doesn't matter now. What's the matter, are you chicken? So that's 3 hours of my life that's gone, that I'll never get back. And whenever you scrape popcorn off a ceiling, there's a little part of you that dies that you leave up there. And right there, that popcorn is super thick and it didn't get wet all the way through. So if you try to scrape a little bit harder to get the popcorn to release, it'll peel the paper. So fortunately, I don't have too many spots like that. If you're peeling paper, stop, back off, because it's better to wait and do something different than to rip all the paper up, because that paper's harder to fix. So the next thing I'm gonna do, since this stuff's really stuck, is I'm going to do a skim coat to fill in all the low spots, because there's humps and dips all over this thing like nobody's business. So I'm gonna do that. Normally I would sand it, get it back down to paper, and then build it back out. But I'm trying to avoid sanding to keep the dust from getting all over the place, because this is the last room in the house that I need to do. And I've stared at the ceiling for 3 years and thought to myself, one day I'm gonna have to get up here and do this. And finally the day came. But I've already done the whole rest of the house, So, last room. Next step, drywall mud, joint pan, joint knife. Start filling in the low spots. Now, I don't want to get too critical with it because there's still going to be low spots even after I fill it in because it's going to shrink. So it may take another coat or 2 or 3. The first coat of mud is on the ceiling. And you can tell where I was getting tired because I fell off the scaffold a couple years, broke my shoulder a couple years ago, and ever since then it's really hard to do ceilings. But I think I have figured something out. I think I know what's causing a lot of these mass shootings. And it's one thing that a lot of them have in common that I think a lot of people have overlooked. And it's popcorn ceilings. You know, think about it. Person wakes up, they look up, what's the first thing they see? Popcorn ceiling. We kind of have to feel sorry for them just a little bit, you know, driven to madness by popcorn. So the quicker we get rid of it, the quicker we can go back to loving one another. There's only a few true heroes that you'll ever meet in this life. And the way to recognize them is they're going to be covered with drywall mud and they're going to be scraping down popcorn ceilings. So do what's right. Be the hero that you want in your life and get rid of that popcorn. It's not the 70s anymore. We don't have to live like this. We can do better. The party's over. It's time to take down the popcorn.